How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. Back with some industrial arts up in this piece. Part of their State of the Art series. And this be... Dun, 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 that be a Foeder Age Barleywine. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I've had a Foeder Age Barleywine before. I most likely have. A lot of people wouldn't call out Foeder on a can. Did I just wipe something off there? I don't know when this is canned now. I think it was 8. Oh, wait. I think it was August 25th of this year. A lot of people wouldn't call out Foeders back in the day. Now it's kind of cool to do that. So I'm curious to see where this sucker lands. This beer comes courtesy of my boy Keith. You might know my friend Keith as Mr. 93 Lumber. He has his own YouTube channel. Go check it out. He dropped this sucker on me, and I was kind of smitten. I was like, ooh, we're going to do this one. It's going to be fun. So, like I said, I think it's 08, 25, 21 when this is canned. It is the 23rd of October, so you're talking about 2 months old on this. Foeder Age Barleywine, coming 11.2% alcohol by volume. Their state-of-the-art series cans are all the same because they just print whatever beer is down there. Listen, honeycomb pattern, always a fan. Beer-wise, listen, it's a 2-month-old barley wine, Foeder or otherwise. It looks like a fresh barley wine. There's no murk to it, no density. It's lighter in color, almost in wheat wine territory, but it looks like a relatively fresh barley wine. You know, khaki-colored head, kind of that just north of amber, kind of copper coin kind of color to it. So, yeah, give it a whirl. Get a nose. Sweet maltiness, sweet bready graininess, brown breadiness. Sweet. It's 11% barley wine. It's supposed to be sweet. But not like cloying sweet, not like confectionery sweet, not like lactosey sweet. It's just grain sweetness. A little bit warty in how it kind of comes off. There's not much of a bittering here. It has to be an English-based barley wine. Unless it's sat in a Foeder for quite some time. I have no idea about why this beer exists. I can almost see them doing this beer to kind of season a Foeder for something else. I mean, I'm not saying that's what they did, but I could see, you know, you don't see a lot of Foeder Age barley wines. I could see them going through and ripping through a Foeder and them just wanting to tweak and season a Foeder in a specific way. Sort of like, just put a huge beer in there to get it kind of, get the wood a little bit richer, a little bit denser, stuff like that, a little bit more effervescent as far as flavor goes. I don't even know why I'm saying this, because this is me guessing about a beer I know nothing about. But yeah, it smells like a sweet, non-overly sweet barley wine. There's no kind of like huge oak tannin to it. There's no kind of funkiness that you might get from a Foeder or some kind of wild firm thing. We're diving in. Cheers. That's sweet. That'd be sweet. No shit, Sherlock. It's 11% barley wine. Man, that's sweet. You know, like, I don't want to say running joke, but a lot of people complain about my channel because when I smell something, they go, oh, it smells sweet. And they go, hey, asshole, you can't smell sweet. No shit, Sherlock. You can't smell sweet, but there's a lot of precursors to sweetness that you can't smell. A lot. So more often than not, when you smell something, you know, you can kind of get an idea of whether it's going to be very sweet or not. This smelled like it had a sweetness to it, but not this level of sweetness. It's almost like icky, sticky, lippy kind of sweetness to it. It's a really well done English barley wine, though. It very much reminds me of like a fresher Hardy's or a really fresh kind of old stock. To a certain extent, some variants of Old Stock. Old Stock varies from year to year. This year, 2021, is fantastic out of the chute. Almost has like an aginess to it. This is very similar to when like Hardy's relaunched. Like what that tasted like non-barrel aged, like 'cause they came out of the chute with a barrel and all that kind of stuff. Very much that. Very similar to that. So, I mean, that's one of my favorite beers of all time. I'm trying to find the Foeder in here, and I think where it really does come through and where it really shows something is in a very, 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 very welcoming kind of immediate dry out at the end. It finishes sweet, but right when you're done finishing, you get an evaporative alcohol thing that adds this dryness in combination with what I am assuming is a soft touch of vanilla, but a big oak tannin from a Foeder that helps squeaky dry this out at the end. There's a lingering sweetness to it, but it tightens up a lot. It goes from like sweet, in multiple levels of sweet. There's like caramel, there's a little brown sugar, there's like, it's not just one note, but it is very much sweet across the board. A little bit of tannic, very, very, very teabaggy, wet teabaggy kind of hop, but it's much sweeter than that, so that kind of gets lost a little bit in translation. But when you get to the squeaky end of it, it does tighten up and get a little bit dry, which is really, really fun. And across the board, while it is sweet and it is aggressive because it's a fresh barley wine, there is a bit of shaved edge to it. It's not completely sharp. It's obviously the Foeder at work, but again, I think the biggest kind of contribution to the beer is that little fake age thing that adds that little kind of shaved edge to it to where it's not super sharp, but it's that dryness at the end from that oak tannin in combination with the high ABV alcohol that kind of makes this beer a little bit more kind of, for lack of a better word, palatable. Not that if it wasn't Foeder aged, it wouldn't be palatable, but it just becomes a little bit more easier to drink because of that. I mean, here comes the, oh, really? He wants it aged portion of the show. I just really want to know what this beer tastes like in 5 to 10 years. I say that. People laugh and go, ha ha ha, 5 to 10 years. No, serious. I'm dead serious when I say I want to see what this beer tastes like in 5 to 10 years. That's what I think this beer is meant to be, is an aged beer. Now, it's in a can. Long-term longevity of cans, 5 to 10 years, who knows? I don't know. I mean, what's the oldest beer in a can that you really want to age? Probably 1050. And that's probably going on 10 years. How long has that been in cans? Probably like, give or take 10. I'd love to get an old 1050 in a can just to see what it would be like. But that's what this beer wants. That's this beer aspires to, I believe. Is just to be aged, because I think this could round it into something fantastic. I led this with, it reminds me of a fresh Hardy. I don't think there's a higher praise for a barley wine, than that. I think that is, even newer Hardy, for me, that is, a little kind of sentimental here, but it's kind of the king shit of fuck mountain when it comes to barley wine. And, for this to kind of trigger that kind of familiarity, I think, is a really good thing. So I'm not gonna sit here and say this is the best barley wine I've had as of late, because I think age is kind of a prerequisite for really well done English barley wine. So it's almost like it can't get there because it's so young. But if we were to whittle this down, this kind of made up categories that I make about Mount Rushmore, if we whittle them down to, is this one of the better, fresher, within 6 to 12 months old English barley wines that I've had as late as Mount Rushmore, and that one for sure. But in a perfect world, I buy a case of this. I drink one of these now, and every year for, you know what I mean? Like every year I drink one for 12 years. Why 12? Well, there's 24 in a case. Well, I'm going to share it with friends. I'm going to rip one every now and then when I shouldn't be drinking one. So yeah, I want to see what this ages like over 10 to 15 years. Value and availability on this, I actually have no idea. I believe I've seen this before, but it was in a 4-pack format, and I just didn't want to buy a whole 4-pack of it. So Keith, or anybody else in the Industrial Arts universe, please let me know what this goes for. I don't even know if they just, I assume it's a 4-pack, but a lot of places probably rip these out in singles. I haven't seen them in singles. I'm guessing this is probably $30 to $40 for a 4-pack. That's my guess. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, I mean, if you like fresh barley wine, English barley wine, I mean, there is a lot to be had here, and there's a lot to be had in a very good way. Like I said, the beers taste fantastic. It's constructed really well. I like that teabag tannic hop thing. I think the Foeder, like I said, add a little bit of shaved edge to it and adds this dryness at the end and makes it a really fun, drinkable beer right now. But in the ultimate goal, the ultimate scheme of things for me when it comes to barley wine, English barley wine in general, you can't fake time, man. I mean, you can Foeder it, you can bottle age it, barrel age it, all kinds of things, but time. Can't fake real time. So I want to try this beer in 10 years, and I think it will be absolutely bonkers stellar. There you go. Review in the books. Let me know if you've had this. Down there if you want to talk about it. Let me know if you have a 10-year-old 1052. I just need to get one of those. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif. Podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of industrial arts right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.